What's up, everyone? It's Mears, and this is Picks and Parlays, our NFL previews. NFL is just around the corner. We already see training camps happening and teams getting ready, especially for that Hall of Fame game coming up. But we have a preview for you today for the one and only Minnesota Vikings. To do that with me is Terry Edelmann. We'll be looking at their team total. It's sitting at 8.5 right now, but there are some other lines out there for Terry's best bets and what he has to say. But for anybody out there questioning, well, who will this Minnesota Vikings team be this year? What are we even looking at? Last year, they had 13 wins, but 4 of those games were very thin margins by field goals, 2 of them in overtime. And people said a lot last year that the Minnesota Vikings got really lucky at times and shouldn't have even had those 13 wins. But one thing I know for sure is everyone coming into this NFL season is going to love Kirk Cousins after watching that documentary Quarterback on Netflix. He was fantastic. And on top of that, though, Kirk can be as good and as consistent as he wants to be. He can be a winner where he goes. But the Minnesota Vikings got rid of Dalvin Cook, and I do think that now this offense is going to be extremely interesting. What are your initial thoughts on this team total, Terry?
Yeah, they lost Cook, but Madison, he's shown the last few years he's ready to step up. Whenever Cook's gotten injured, he's stepped up great. So the Vikings do have some changes this year. When we go to look at the win total, it's minus 130 for the over 8.5. I'm not going to tell somebody to go and bet a minus 130 future prop. Just because that's not something I would do. If I want to bet a future prop, I want plus money. When looking at the Vikings schedule this year, I have them finishing 11-6. So I took over 9.5 wins, plus 165. And I also like them to win the division, plus 275. For me, obviously, yes, I am a Vikings fan, but I believe their success will come against divisional opponents. I think the Vikings are going to do very well against the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. I do think they split against the Detroit Lions. It goes 1-1. Yes, I do think your Lions win, Lenny, the final game of the season. I think Detroit wins. But I think the Vikings have another good season. The reason why I don't think they're a fluke is because of the head coach, O'Connell. I absolutely love him. No one else I'd rather see leading the Vikings. And I think there's going to be some close games again, but I think they can get to 10 wins, and it's plus 165.
Yeah. I wouldn't have called them like a total fluke either. I just think a lot of people thought some of those games were just fluky wins. So they had some fluky wins, but that team is not a fluke. I think saying that they're a 10-win team is not at all out of the ballpark. I do think they could be a 10-win team. And when it comes down to that division, Green Bay is a big question mark. They lost a lot of offense, and that's going to be a really big challenge for them, seeing how Jordan Love now leads this offense, because for so long, Aaron Rodgers was that identity. So it's going to be interesting. I think the Lions are always that team now that are in the fight, which is crazy to say. The Bears, I think, are just so inconsistent in what they have. So I think to say that this over 9.5 wins, yeah, I would play that, because I know you said 11, but I would think at least 10 the Vikings can rack up, especially because I do think it's not a fluke that they're definitely still probably the best team coming into the season that you can say is in their division.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Well,
plus 275 to win the division is a great price as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great price. And thank you, Terry, for searching that out for everybody. I agree. Don't give us a future if we can't get a little bit of plus money value on it, especially something where you could look at and have some concrete evidence going in. Promo code MLB will save you 20% off the site if you're interested in any more of our Cappers free picks. We have daily best bets as well, so check out the site and download that new Picks and Parlays app, available on all mobile device platforms. If you're looking for a plus money futures pick for the NFL season, take the Minnesota Vikings over 9.5 wins. Thanks, Terry.
No problem.